going to call this meeting to order, and I have a roll call, please.
Trustee Bowles?
Here.
Trustee Brown? Trustee Burgess?
Here.
Trustee Young?
Here.
Supervisor Dabburn?
I'm here.
Clerk's here.
Let us stand with the pledge to the flag. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Okay, everybody get a chance to look at the minutes? And is there any corrections or additions? Anybody? If not, then I'd like a motion to approve the minutes as written.
So moved.
Moved by Terry. Is there a second? Second by Debbie. Anything else? If not, roll call, please.
Trustee Bowles?
Yes.
Trustee Burgess?
Yes.
Trustee Young?
Yes.
Supervisor Dabburn?
Yes. All right. Are there any public comments? Seeing none, we will go ahead to the supervisor's report. We have the general assistance report. There were, this is from August 12th, 2017 through September 14th, 2017. 15 intakes, 10 applications, 0 flat grants, 0 other aid, 15 came in for pantry, 2 were denied, 4 are pending, 0 terminated. There are 7 on GA. We spent for general assistance $1,470. Emergency assistance $2,450.24 for a total amount of GA and EA of $3,920.24. Hello, Grace. Welcome. Then we have the 2017 school supply report. We had 25 applications. We had the number of children served. We served a total of 68 children, 5 from Monee, 6 from Park Forest, and 57 from University Park. So, is that about normal, or is that a little higher?
It's a little lower this year.
A little lower? Okay.
Last year, I think we serviced about 80.
Okay, so it's a little lower. But people are always grateful for supplies. Senior committee has Halloween coming up on Wednesday, October 25th, and that is here at the township. Any seniors need to sign up ahead of time and call the township because we can only take so many people. I think about 100 is all what we can have, really. So by the time we get the tables and everything in here. So please sign up ahead of time. If you notice on the table, everybody, there are name tags that have your names on them and tell you that you're a Monee Township trustee or whatever. And they came out very well, I think. The shirts that we were talking about have everybody got their sizes to you?
They're on order.
They're on order. We couldn't find the darker gray that we were looking for, so I think we went with the lighter gray with the black lettering, so I think those colors will be okay. We got a thank you letter from the Will County Center for Community Concerns, thanking us for the donation of $1,500. We had that might be on the table, not, but there's on the table tonight was a letter from the University Park Lions football and cheer program, thanking us also for their donation we gave them. There's a notice on the table too, or it was in the packet, I'm not certain. The ATCOI is looking for recognition award applications, and so if anybody wants to fill out an application and for different types of awards that they give out, I believe at the November conference, and that's in the packet, and you can do so. Parade. Maurice, Terry, and I were in the Monee Fall Fair Parade. And the little bit of candy that's on the table that you can take home with you is the leftovers of about $100 worth of candy, because Mo the maniac just threw candy like crazy. Terry walked the whole way, because, you know, she's into steps. And Terry, we gave her a bag, and she went up and she handed people individual candies all the way along. At the very end of the parade, when Mo and I are out of candy, and she had one box, we thought she was giving it all away. She comes back and she's got candy in the rest of the box, and we're going, why'd you bring that candy? We could have thrown it out. And she's like, well, you know, I gave a lot.
I thought we had more way to walk.
So you now have candy.
Route 1. She's walking all the way to Route 1.
Yeah, I tell you, she put in a lot of steps, because it
I
was.
would have been there with you, Terry.
They expanded the route this year. They made it a longer route. I mean, it was further than I remember anyway.
Well, we were behind Batman, and he
Yeah, we-
was throwing out stuff, so kids were really excited about Batman, so we, you know, they were.
Batman was
laughing
cool, because
excited.
every now and then, Batman would stop his car, and he would get out, and he would have Batman figurines and toys, and he would get out, and he'd usually do it when there was like a kid there with a parent or something, other than a group of kids, so that the kids didn't feel bad, and he would give them a toy, and they were just all excited about that. That was pretty cool.
That was cool.
Yeah, that was cool.
Smoke coming out of the gas. That was cool.
They always have such a good turnout for their
I
parade. They
mean,
have a
he
lot of
was
people.
literally, the way he got out the car and strut.
Right.
Yeah, poor Robin, the kids were like, we want Batman.
Yeah, poor Robin. You're doing it justice
Yeah,
to
he was
Robin.
just sitting on top of the car through the hole of the roof throwing candy, you know.
That was very good event.
Yeah,
Very
that
good.
was, it was fun on that. So, all right, that's all I have. Let's go to the clerk's report.
The annual audit was filed with the county clerk's office, and also I had requested to publish the availability of the audit in the Verdette today. I haven't seen the paper yet today, but it's supposed to be in today's paper. Those are the only two items I have.
Okay. And you're gonna file the financial report then sometime by the 30th? Okay. We have to, Bobby lost a brother last evening, so we want to commiserate and say we're very sorry about that, Bobby.
You just lost a brother, right?
Yeah, it's
Well,
the
this
second
is
brother
the other
in a
one.
very
I
short period
had
of time.
an older brother and a younger brother,
Right.
and now they're both gone.
Yeah,
Oh, so sad.
yeah.
4th of July and yesterday.
Was he in Louisiana too?
They're all there to help me. Well, you know, I had one sister that had lived in New York and, you know, North Carolina, and Florida, and she's back there now. Actually, when my father passed, she actually lives in the home my father lived in. She and her husband. So,
Well, we're sorry.
thank you.
Definitely.
Okay, Highway Commissioners report.
I was in the parade too. I took a truck out there.
Ah,
Went to the parade. We're doing road mowing. Still waiting for salt bids. Nobody's got salt bids yet this year. Just trying to determine the price. There's salt all over the place. So this will be quite a reduction in that. Time will tell. I got the aqua project going on out here. I keep in contact with them at least once a week. They're gonna start working on the road here, trying to get that done. They've been having trouble with the pipe, I guess. Had a couple of leaks they had to fix. I had road paving. 2 of the 3 roads are paved. The third one I'll be working on here in the next week, 10 days. And we've been doing culvert repairs. Replacements, really, not repairs. Replacing the whole culvert. So we've been keeping fairly busy. So that's about it.
Sounds like you've been busy. Have any questions for David? Okay. Moving on to the assessor is not here, so we'll skip her. Our attorney, did you want to anything?
Nothing in the report.
Okay. Standing, no. Under new business, a will ride, we do not have a will ride report. We requested it, and we got back a note from Wendy that she had not received her billing from the pay system. They apparently are behind for some reason, so we'll probably have a double billing next next month. Okay, next is approve the audit report for fiscal year April 1st, 2016 to March 31st, 2017. Everybody had a chance to get their audit report and look at it?
I got it, but I haven't had time to read it.
Well, they always come up and bring up, a few problems, and most of them are, they're fairly minor, but,
I thought they were very good findings.
they're
minor, but yeah.
they're minor, but they're good findings.
Right, good
And,
findings.
it's some things that are already fixed. It's like, the Social Security and Medicare withholding. They're talking about, Paul was working, as a custodian here, and we were paying him separately as a check, as an outside contractor, and they said, no, because he is an employee, you have to, pay him like a payroll. So that's been done, and we've been doing that for, since last year sometime. But because we were doing it part of last year, they still reported it, even though it's been taken care of. FOIA training, they're saying one of us.
Yeah, I was like, who is that? They missed the whole
And
year.
because I
FOIA
think,
training.
Willa is okay, and I'm okay. Bobby, is that you?
That was me.
That was you that
No,
was
she
not
said it
okay?
was
Okay, Willa is okay.
Well-
So you've taken care of that? All
You're
right.
forgiven. That's your
Yeah.
only mistake. since I've
Right,
been
Willa
here.
is now okay, so that's done. She's got quite a few things in here in the assessor stuff. She's suggesting that the assessor, and I hope Sandra is reading this, she's coding drinks, candies, and snacks for employees or customers as being office supplies, and they actually are not office supplies, so she's recommending that she puts them into the meals expense account or creates a new expense account titled office snacks. So we'll have to, make a note to Sandra to see if she understands that. Then record retention, and I don't know what happened to this. This was just a missing, we usually have all the credit card charges and everything's together with it, but there was just one that went astray or something.
No, they were saying to reconcile the credit card.
Right, but they said that we would have found it if it was reconciled, that there was a missing receipt, but I'm not certain it would have been found then either, so,
Does the assessor have a credit card?
no, the township has a credit card.
She uses her own credit card.
Right. So anyway, so she's recommending that, that Willa does, she says, we recommend the township retain invoices for all credit card charges, and the invoices have to be kept with the monthly credit card statements, which we try to do. I think one just
They are
went
doing that.
astray there, yeah, I think one just went
So we
astray.
reconcile once a month.
Well, we receive the bill.
Who does it? You?
I do.
Okay.
Do reconcile. The fund's out of balance, the township general fund and the road and bridge were out of balance. This was due to the township classifying payments made by the general assistance fund for travel and the road and bridge fund for building maintenance to the town fund class. We recommend in the future the township make sure that such transaction is being coded in the correct class in QuickBooks by running a monthly report verifying individual funds are in balance. And we do look at that. I mean, individual funds, we try to, but some of this stuff, and one of the things down below is that the coding on bills, like David will code his bills and hand them to Willa to put into a particular account. Like he'll say, take this from this account, take this. Sandra does the same thing. And so when it comes in, then Willa makes out the check and is coding them to the accounts that she's been instructed to do that. What they're asking for, what the assessors are saying is that we should, again, look at them. So if she looks at them and doesn't think that sounds right, then she should call them and tell them that it doesn't sound right. And, but I think there were just a couple of them. So it's not like it's an ongoing thing. It's just occasionally things get coded wrong, and then when they're found, then we put them back. It has happened. I've noticed, like, sometimes when somebody gets coded to, like, a wrong account, and I'll look at our register of balances against our budget, and I'll see something that's out of balance, and I'll go, how can that be? I mean, we just should not have been over budget. And she'll look back into the account and see that, oh, yeah, it was coded to the wrong account and correct it and go on. I mean, it's, usually it's small things usually. But, and so I kind of keep an eye on that for the the balance stuff, and she's trying to keep that out. And I'm sure, David, you'll try to watch your coding on things too, right?
Oh, yeah.
Okay. And then again on the assessor, just talking about she had late charges on the assessor's utilities. But that's just because she's not turning in the bills to you on time.
Right.
Oh, they come to you?
Yeah,
So
no,
comment bills, is it-
every bill that is done is going out of the township. So the assessor gets her bills together, codes them, has to get them to us. Now, previous boards have said, there are many things that we send out immediately so we do not have late charges. Utilities, telephones, things like that. So if the bill gets into Willa on time, those checks are done within a day at the time we receive them, and those are in the mail
But
usually.
what about the
I have to sign them.
but as far as their recommendation, the auto feature,
Well,
that's
no.
not something we want to entertain?
I don't think so.
Okay.
I would think that,
So we good, so it just.
So that comment goes specifically for that assessor's office?
Right.
That's the way it
right,
comes?
and that's again the assessor's office comment. So she needs to just get her bills in on time again. So hopefully she will. The next one was inaccurate postings of expense budget line items, and there again is basically incorrectly coded to the wrong account. She's saying a guardrail was to road supplies instead of road maintenance, and as we were talking about, these were just coded wrong in the beginning, and Willa just followed through and didn't think about checking it. The next one was a workers' compensation account, instead of breaking out insurance coverage to be more accurate, titled insurance. Well, we changed that last year, didn't we? So now it's entitled workers' comp / insurance. And that was changed, it's just again catching up with this budget. So that one is that. And we try to post under act expense accounts and as much as possible, and Willa is gonna try to, if she sees something not coded right, as I said, try to ask them if that is for sure where we want to put it. Employee reimbursement, assessor department. This again is something that we've had in every audit for the last few years. And it's just basically that too many things are being expensed that could easily have been ordered through supply companies and things like that. And she's saying like the postage in the post office, we get, she knew ahead of time she was going to go and get postage, she could get a check from Willa and take it over there and do that. What she's doing is she's using her credit card and then expensing it out. And so these are just some of the examples, and she's been bringing that up, I think, for the 3rd year in a row. Same with office supplies. There's a lot of office supplies that she'll go in. And in her mind, I can kind of understand, because she kind of, and we've discussed that one other time, that it was cheaper. She saw things on sale, so she thought she was saving the budget, money. But and I think Joe at one time pointed out to her that may be true, but as a township, and trying to make sure that it's the perception that people see that we're paying her all this expense money, why? And that, it's better if you can order everything you need through a supply company. And we've told her that, and it doesn't take but a day or two to get it, does it?
Sometimes the next day.
Yeah, sometimes the next day. So, it's something that is, it's been addressed to her before. As a sales tax in the assessor's department, we've given Sandra tax exempt letters, so she doesn't have to pay sales tax if she does buy things someplace, and she's not taking that with her on a regular basis.
Yeah, they said quite a few transactions or sales without using our tax exempt.
Well, you got a number of employees doing it.
Well, she's basically the one that's buying these things. So, I mean, but even if she and the deputy are doing it, which I don't think just the other ones, unless she tells them to do it. But I would say they're mostly Sandra, aren't they? We don't, very seldom have expenses.
Usually mostly reimbursements are from Sandra.
Right, right.
So do we have to show the letter, or is it just the number we have to show?
No, you have to show them the letter. When
We have
I
to
went and
show
bought
the
the balloons,
Mhm.
I actually took the letter in with me
Mhm.
and said, you know, I'm a township, this is a tax exempt letter. And they said, may we keep this letter? I said, yes, you may.
Okay.
You know, so, you know.
Have it on file.
Right.
It also says right here, during the audit, we examine numerous employee reimbursements. So when they purchase things, if they don't have the letter, they're gonna get charged tax.
Right,
Okay? That's what it means.
that's right. Like, we have a Sam's Club account for the township that is a tax exempt account. So if we buy things there, like I bought the candy there, it's immediately.
What was that you just said?
I said if they don't have the letter, they're gonna get charged tax.
Right.
Right, but you said reimbursement.
I said, yeah, it says right here, during the audit, we examine numerous employee reimbursements. So if they purchasing things on behalf of the assessor's office, and they looking to be reimbursed, they don't have the tax exempt letter with them, they're gonna be charged tax.
No, I'm thinking reimbursement. To get reimbursement, they're gonna get reimbursed for whatever whatever they expended.
Right.
Of course.
Right.
And
Well-
if they don't have the letter.
Right.
they're gonna
Oh,
get
yeah.
charged
I
tax.
mean,
You
which
go
is a
someplace,
bad
they're
thing.
paying the
Okay,
bill,
I'm just-
and they don't have the tax exempt
Right.
letter, so they're having to pay
So
the
they pay the
taxes
tax,
too.
they get reimbursed, and we have to pay that tax to reimburse.
Well, the
them.
township is
Right,
right.
yeah.
I mean, eventually, so.
Right.
Anyway, as I said, that's been brought up to her before. We made sure after the last time it was mentioned that we, said, do you have a copy? And I don't know what she said, but we sent her another one. We said, we'll fax in you another copy. So she has it. It's not that she doesn't have them, it's just that they're not doing it. Credit card reconciliations, something isn't being reconciled in QuickBooks on a monthly basis, and that Willa did not know she had to do. I believe from the last audit, you talked about it with them, but now they are saying that she should, so she's now changed that and is now checking the reconciliations all the time. But that's basic. It's fairly minor stuff. It's not like huge things that are going, So other than that, I would say it's pretty good. But anyway, we need to approve the audit. The controller, the auditors always send copies to the comptroller, which is they do that electronically. They have to do that. And then Bobby had to file the audit with the clerk and then post, as he had said he did, just a notice that it's published and available at the township for review.
Is it
and
required
anybody
by
wanted to look
law?
at it. Right, that's
It's required by
required by law. So. All right, if anybody has any questions?
This firm has been with us for quite a few years.
They have, and they're just always.
They do good work.
They do good work.
Yeah.
And the other thing we require when we hire an auditor is that because we're not experts at accounting, we don't have accounting degrees, we do QuickBooks on the computer, which seems to work very well for us. I mean, I've had accounting classes, Willa probably had a couple, but it's been a while. And we're not experts at that kind of stuff. So what we do is best we can, but we tell them during the audit that if we find different things, can you help us or tell us what we need to do to fix it? And so they either will tell us, Willa, what to do so that she can get their accounts straight, or sometimes just in the course of doing things, they will make the transactions themselves and take care of it. So, other than that, they've posed the possibility, we could always get outside help. Well, the years that we were out of office, they did try a firm that was just trying to outsource all the billing and the checks and everything, and that did not work out. That was pretty much a disaster, wasn't it, Willa?
I think they didn't like the way they were doing something, the
Right.
reports or something, so they.
But it was kind of a mess, so I think we're better to do it internally, even if we aren't quite, and then, and if we have to pay the firm to help us out a little bit, that's part of our contract that when we send letters out saying that, we will pay an hourly basis to help correct if something comes up. So.
Do we have a top of the line QuickBook program?
Oh, yeah.
We have the latest one.
We got the quickest books that we can
Right,
read.
we got the quickest, no, every year we update.
We have the latest version. They come out with a new version, I think, every 2 years.
Okay.
So we have the latest version.
All right, then I need a motion to approve the audit report for fiscal year April 1st, 2016 to March 31st, 2017.
So moved.
Moved by Maurice. Second by Denny. Any further questions? And roll call vote.
Trustee Bowles,
Yes.
trustee Brown,
Yes.
trustee Burgess,
Yes.
trustee Young,
Yes.
supervisor Dadman.
Yes. The next is that in your packet, there was a TOI 2018 legislative survey. This is up to everybody to do themselves. If you have comments, and you can either do it online and send it back to them, or mail it back, or if, they want it by October 16th, if you wanted to get them and have Willa collect them all, then by October 10th, she would have to have them, so they could get mailed on time. That is up to everybody individually to do. The next business is, on October, we do our newsletter for the fall, and the deadline is going to be October 9th. And so you'll have to have everything in by October 9th for that. Old business, the TIF and the levy black box notice. Joe and I went over to the county clerk's office and talked to Britt. And very, very, very helpful young man. He was, and a new daddy. He had taken a few days off and just has a new baby and his first one, so he was quite excited about that. But he was very helpful. I put on the table tonight, and you should have these. They're the TIF estimated limiting rates. Everybody looking at that?
Yeah.
Okay. There's one for the town and there's one for the road. And it basically says, and they're telling, that saying that what we're accumulating back into new property is $15,694,734. It is listed as new property, and most of that is the Monee TIFs 2 that expired, and then also portions of TIF 3 and TIF 4 in Monee that were put into TIF 5, and so they were closed out also. So that we're, all going back on the tax rolls. And the only time that you can collect money from TIFs is as new property the year they go back onto the tax roll. So this is our year only that we can recoup this. For us, it's not a heck of a lot. I mean, we're talking for the township, it's an extra $15,650 over and above what we would if we would normally just do a regular levy. And for the road district, it's $23,143. And so I think those amounts are enough for us to do a black box referendum at truth and taxation, which means that we will have to do there's a certain, Joe has been working on it, he's the one that has to do it, but it's you have to have a 1/4-inch black box in the newspaper around this, and it has to be filed no more than 14 days before the hearing, or less than 7 days. And so that works out to, it has to be, the first day that can be posted is November 3rd, the last day is November 9th. So we have to make sure that that is published in the papers at that time. We will in October come back with the actual black box, and we will vote on that and the nomenclature that's in there. Now, if you notice that, and you go down to the bottom of looking at just the township one, it says that our extension limit, after you do the calculations, times, and now our CPI has gone up this year too. CPI last year was a 0.0007, way under 1%. This year it's going to be a 0.021%, which is about 3 times what it has been last year. So that's good. It means that the extension limit we can go for is $645,240.65. If we were not going to do the black box, the biggest we could do would be to collect $629,589, and which is $15,650 less. And so it's better if we do that. He also suggested that on both the town and the road, that we add in some extra when I'm actually going to do this levy, which I will do in the next few weeks. Get the paperwork to Joe so he has the right amounts for his paperwork. Is that they suggest that we do an extra $5,000 or more in there, because and it isn't until March that all of everything is finally figured out by the time people, either protest or appeal their levies or whatever. So, isn't that what he said? It was probably until March that he did that.
Right, before you can get an equalized assessment.
Right, to get the correct one. So he suggested that we go higher than that $645,000 there by maybe $5,000 or $6,000. So that's what I was planning on doing, and the same thing with the David's road district. And because they're saying he can, extend to $954,000. So it's extra in our pocket, and the only time that we can get it is this year, and it's money that was taken, well, it wasn't taken off the tax rolls. It's evaluated in the 23 years since it went into the TIF. We're still getting tax money. Say if it was a base $10,000 when this district TIF 2 went in, now it's almost worth $10 million. Then you get the difference, and that's what the assessed valuation is. So for all the property that's going back on, and with maybe a little bit of their new property, it's a total of $15,694,734. So it's important that we do this.
I'm looking at the CPI. Now, I don't see the previous CPI. This is the new CPI?
This is going to be the new CPI. Last year's CPI was 0.007. It was under 1%.
Okay, so 2.1%.
Yes, it's about 3 times the amount.
Right, okay.
I still want to, for Sandra and everybody's budget, I want us to be able to only go up 1% in our budget, so that the rest of this then, that little bit extra we're getting in, then come back into our bottom line, so that we can, because we really don't have enough saved if there was a calamity or something.
So your black box is going to seek to go to where?
The black box will go, I will do a black box referendum for about $650,000 on his recommendation.
So you're looking at 645,24065.
Right, plus 5,000.
Plus 5,000.
Right. So that's what I will be doing my levies on, and David's will be adding, I don't know if we should even maybe do an 8,000 on his, because his amount is so much higher, that might make a difference in changing that. David, what do you think?
This is like 954.
Huh?
This is like 954.
Yeah, 954, but if we do it like, and ours is only 645, and we're doing 5,000. Do you think we just add 5 to his, or do we do 8?
Do we have two black boxes?
We have to do 2 separate black boxes. Yes.
So are you still trying to recoup part of that new property?
That's all we're doing.
So 5 and 8 is only 13.
No. That's all, he's recouped it in these figures.
Oh, okay. So
Okay, but he's saying that those are not firm figures, and they won't have those firm figures too much, so they might go up or down. So just to cover everything.
5 is the highest we can go for the tax.
Yeah, this is the, right.
So you won't get it, but you have to go there.
Right. If we don't go to the black box, we would only get that 629,589 would be the most that we could levy for. If by with doing the black box, we, as I said, it's an extra 15,000 for the town, an extra 23,000 for the road. It's worth doing, and that's just recouping the property that, should be there. So, all right, that's what we're doing. We will bring back any We'll bring back the black box thing next month with all the correct literature. I will do the levy and I'll get all that to you. And that way you can base your levy on that.
Yeah, I just wanted to make sure one thing, and this really deals with Bobby. The publication, just since we're in advance here, I want to kind of get this all set up, so we're going to kind of last minute problem. For the publication, what the statute says, because this is kind of articulate. If the taxing district is located entirely in one county, the notice shall be published in an English language newspaper of general circulation published in the taxing district, or if there is no such newspaper, in an English language newspaper of general circulation published in the county and having circulation in the taxing district. So, I know there's been some issues sometimes with our publication, so do you know where this publication would be taking place?
Well, Peatown is for the Burdett is published.
See, and they only cover a portion of Monee Creek.
What's wrong with this South
They don't get
Suburban?
University Park at all.
There's not any much of it.
Southtown, what's wrong with Southtown?
Southtown Forest.
Yeah,
They cover the areas of our township.
But they don't do much with University Park either, but
Well,
they do
it's
cover that.
for.
but if it covers the area,
It covers
that's
the
what the
area.
statute
They
says.
put the
Must
papers
cover
So
the
you're
area.
saying that's Barb's Papers, Southtown Voice?
I'm just asking.
That's actually the Southland.
It's right here.
But yeah,
Those papers are put everywhere in the.
Well, you could do it in both. I mean, there's nothing that
What I'm
says
talking
you
about,
can't.
Southtown.
All right.
Are you
So,
talking about the star?
Star? The Star?
Yeah,
It's a star, yeah.
This one up here is what bars
Okay, Southland Voice.
That's free, though, that's not,
is. Yeah, this one's
that
free.
doesn't have any subscribers to it.
Really?
Does that count?
It's circulated,
It circulates all over.
It's got to be general circulation, so, that's,
not just putting it at a location.
Right.
They put it at the train station, bring it to the stores and all that.
Yeah.
But no one subscribed to that.
where's it published? Do we know?
In Crete.
Creed?
Well, we don't want to,
State.
we don't want to
State.
chance anything that could be hang us up on this, because,
anything has to be what?
hang us up.
Oh,
You know,
Well, I would say then the Star. The Star is a general circulated paper in this area.
Sure.
the Southtown Star.
Yeah.
I mean, you know,
Right, so I'd say do it to the Southtown Star, do it in the
Is
Burdett.
that the
We also
paper
have
changes
to,
here?
we also have to put notice on our website, I believe.
Yeah, if we find out.
now the date range was, what you say, what are the date range is November 3rd.
Third through the 9th, the 9th
The
is 7
earliest it
days
can be
ahead.
published is the 3rd,
Right,
and the latest it can be published is the 9th.
You have 14
Okay.
days before the meeting and no less than 7 before the meeting.
no more than 14, no less than
No
7,
more than
it's a very
14.
small time frame.
And it's got to be a specific look to the publication. So that's why if we determine who the publisher is going to be, I think I'd actually like to talk to them, make sure they've done it before.
The
Because-
Vedette has,
Yeah, they
the Vedette does it all the time.
But we had an issue with the Vedette, I believe.
Well, but that's
I think
something
there was a-
Bobby's trying to work out with this, talk to the publisher, right?
They call it the black box, but it's got to be a
Right.
black box.
They have done it and they have, I've seen them in there.
That you have?
Yeah.
Yeah,
right.
but the thing is, that doesn't cover a big part of the township, the Vedette.
Well, I got to think the Southtown, 'cause I've heard of the Southtown.
Yeah, that's the only
I gotta
problem.
But
think
they're
that
saying
they must
the
have
majority.
It says
This
a
would
general.
be-
I don't even think it covers the majority.
Oh, yes.
It covers sometimes.
It doesn't cover the majority.
Oh, with that?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
How? Of our township.
The rural area.
It covers
predominantly
Monee.
gets a Vedette.
Hmm?
The rural area predominantly gets a Vedette, probably more than the South Town.
That's what I'm saying. I mean, when you talk about 8,000 people at a University Park,
Yeah.
it doesn't even cover.
Well, the only thing we can do to cover there is to,
Put it in more than one newspaper.
Yeah, you could
we
do that.
do the best we can with the newspapers that are in the county. They're saying, or a one that's published within the county and circulated in the general area. Well, that's the general area. So we do the Vedette, we do the Star, and then Bobby can post the black box referendum at the Village of University Park, at the Monee Village Hall, and the Village of Park Forest, like we do on other
Yeah, in a
things.
town meeting. That's
Right,
the only
so
way.
I don't know why that would work then,
Well,
right?
no, it probably would. I mean, the critical one is the one that's being published, though.
Right.
Not so much the one that's being posted.
We just have to be able to prove it, like when we get it, when like we get the, we have to get a payment thing for it, they send us a copy of it, and that's what we have to use when you're presenting this information to the clerk's office, because you have to send them this black box, you know,
Well, it sounds like we need to present it both to the Vedette and the South Town.
Yeah.
I mean, that's what it sounds like.
Well, we get,
So-
we get a certificate of publication then, where
Right.
it's got a little copy of what was printed, and
Right.
it says that it
And that's what we have to send to the clerk.
So Joe, you actually write it up, and who writes it up?
He's going to get the
Or
word.
you don't want
I
to
would
write
write
it
it
up
up.
and make the, you do all of that?
Yeah, I don't, well, I'm just, mechanically, I want to make sure that they've done it before, so they know this.
Oh, they would do
This
it.
black box has got to be a quarter of an inch around.
That's right.
Well,
It's
if
kinda
you feel
specific.
better than calling the Vedette, call them, you know, that they, I think they do that, but just, you know, if you wanted to, maybe a call from Joe wouldn't hurt,
We
you know?
can specifically state that and see what the proof is. Now, I know the Southtown, they would proof it before they print it.
Yeah.
So they would send it, well,
That- that would be
whoever
good.
would have to
That would be good to have
approve
a
it.
proof in advance.
We'll have to approve it, say, okay, yeah, this is what we want, and before they print it. Now, the Burnett is a weekly. I mean, it's only printed on Thursday, and Southtown is print daily. So, perhaps we can submit that to both. I mean,
And see if they can give us a proof.
we have to look at the cost, whatever the cost is, and.
But just do it.
Yeah.
So getting a proof would be good, just to make sure that they've understood what they need to do.
As long as they realize the time frame, that if this, I mean, they can't miss the time frames, that's the bottom line. I mean,
Well, we would have to submit it to them
Right.
and explain
Right.
that, what the time
That's
frame
why I'm
is.
bringing it up now, because we got time, so.
So we'll approve this and everything at the October meeting, and then you will have a couple weeks from that point on until November 3rd to make sure that they get everything and they get a proof back to you and say, this is when you want it published, between November 3rd and November 9th.
Yeah, I think they only have one shot to get it into them, I believe, whatever that Thursday, I don't know the calendar, whatever the third is, but I think that Friday, we gotta have the information in to have it printed in the paper that next Thursday or Friday.
Yeah,
So
well, the third is the ninth, that's the last day.
Yeah,
I mean, if it's not in,
But he still has 2 weeks after we have our meeting for him to get that, get it to the paper, you know, explain what he needs done, and then ask them to give him a proof.
But I think they have done it before.
Oh, well, they've done
You
it.
have to have it like a week before it's published into them.
I
You do.
think that
That's
Friday,
right.
that Friday.
Next Friday by
Friday
noon,
before.
it
Which
used to
is,
be.
which is the third.
Yeah, by noon, I think.
And I think they go till that Monday, but I mean, you have a little bit more flexibility with the Southtown Star because, since it's a daily.
Right, I would do it both, that way then you're,
I think, can you electronically,
Or the 27th, the 27th would be, if you wanted it by the 3rd, on the 3rd.
can you electronically send it to them? Or do you have to physically take it?
But if you want proof,
Yeah, I mean,
if you
it's,
want proof first,
I mean, it's actually sent by email, you know,
Okay.
explaining what you want
and tell them
Now-
it has to be black box with a 1/4 inch black border and a whole bit, you explain all that.
Well, here's my.
When they hear
yeah.
black box, I mean, if they've done it before, if they hear black box, they should know what.
Well, yeah, but just in case, we need
No,
to explain
I
that it
agree.
must be, whatever the state statute reads, we need to say, hey, okay, it has to be whatever.
Can I play devil's advocate a bit here? What if for some reason we, on a technicality, do not adhere to that? For whatever reason, it's a 1/4 inch and this 1/8 of an inch and a 1/4 inch. what's the consequences?
Yeah, I don't know if the county clerk would bring up the problem, but taxpayers would. They'd be
Oh,
the
okay.
challenge.
Okay. And say, I'm not gonna pay you taxes
Yeah.
because you.
Yeah.
Okay, thanks, great.
That's your worst case
Okay.
scenario.
Okay, excellent.
So Donna, between you and Joe, you gonna drop the language.
Yes,
Bobby gonna check on
right.
the familiarization with the
Right.
black box.
And then at our next meeting, which is the October meeting, we will approve that and we will set the hearing.
Okay, now check this out. By the next meeting, we should know which newspaper is familiar with the procedure with the black box.
Well,
About-
you're saying that the Verdad is familiar with it.
I don't know. I don't know whether they are or
Well,
not.
maybe
You
just-
didn't say it,
I've
you said it.
seen,
I
I've
mean,
seen it in there.
We have
Okay,
had.
see.
It's staying in there.
We have-
So,
we've had Cremona-
so basically,
Right.
basically, any
I'm sure the
newspaper
Stars too.
that actually do legal publication,
We're only talking
Sure.
about two now.
yeah.
Right.
Well, I mean, if you give them the specific and send it to them, then they should be able to
Right.
comply with it. It's just a matter of what the cost
And
gonna
like
be.
I said, I just, the only question I have when you say general circulation, I think the Verdad might only have 1,000 subscribers total. That includes Peatone and Creek and Monee.
But the biggest thing is
And
this,
that's what I
they're the
said.
only publications that we have, and it just says a published publication that's within the county. So, I mean, that covers generally, so I think it's gonna cover, I mean, it's worked for Cremona.
Does that generally, as
Cremona
defined,
is in black boxes all the time, and they use that, so that's not a problem, because that's what
they
they
have
use
used, they
for
have
proof.
used others. They
So
have
even
used
if you
Not
look
that
at the
many.
Joliet papers
They have
in
used
this
it
county,
Yeah,
It's
in the
not-
county. Well, like I
we
said,
don't
between the two of them,
use
we're fine.
too many of us see it.
Joe, again, general circulation, does that,
General,
Specifically
general
means
circulation
mailing?
in the district.
what, how is that defined, Joe? How do you define general circulation? I know that's a,
I mean, there've been legal challenges. I know of.
That's why probably
But-
you have to use the two newspapers. then.
I mean, they-
Well, if we use the two and we cover our butts by putting postings in each of the village halls, will be on our website. That is pretty well covering everybody.
you know, I mean, there used to be challenges, like with the labor record, you know, the paper, the labor record, there've been challenges with that as not being a paper of general circulation. You know, that kind of stuff, or Farmers Weekly, that's not.
that's not general? Okay, because I
There's
get, I
been
could get
challenges,
that.
I didn't know.
Oh, wow.
They've usually been successful in saying, yes, that is general. It doesn't take too much to be a paper of general circulation.
right.
Because I was gonna bring that paper
But
up,
if,
but I
but
said,
if it's
no,
like,
not too
you
many
know,
can get
the
those.
Slovenian Weekly News or something like that, it might not stand up.
Yeah,
And that's why the non-circulated, the voice wouldn't stand up then.
and that's why I
because
said,
of that,
the
right?
voice, you know,
Right,
the
that won't
circulation
stand up,
mean
right.
actually going to people, you know,
What-
mailing to people.
What would be the issue with the voice? You
I don't know.
It's a free paper and they don't have a regular subscription circulation where the other ones do. Well, let's just go with the two papers. Let's also plan on doing the postings in the village halls, and then we'll have it on our website, and that pretty well should cover everything.
Yeah.
Don't you
Yeah,
think
I just
so?
want us to
Yes.
be-
Okay.
Prepared in advance.
Okay, well then that's what we will be bringing back in October on that. Another reminder, the next one is on the annual Township Conference, November 12th through the 14th. Bobby, Terry, and I are going, no one else is. We will be going and on Sunday the 12th, and staying the 12th and the 13th, and coming home on the 14th. So it'll be 2 days, this time instead of 3 nights. Okay, that's all I have on that. Project reports. How are we doing with getting our gym nights going?
Oh, the youth? We're good to go, actually. We're good to go from them. What he wants from us is just give him some dates all the way up until the end of next year, the end of our season, all the way to May. So he said the typical days he's fine if he needs to clean something up. He said right now just give him whatever dates we want, except the holidays.
So do the agreements, go ahead and write up the agreement.
Let's write up the agreement if you can get it to him tomorrow. Okay?
Okay, the problem is that we didn't know this, so we don't have it on the agenda
That's okay. We're just-
as approving the agreement, but it's it's a general agreement that we have always done. Do we want to start now? Is it too late for this year, or do we gonna now have to wait until January?
No, we can start this year. Why can't we not start this year? We can start this year. If you want to bring it back to the board, or do we give you the approval in some way? We probably can't take action now, but bring it back next month. We can start November the 1st.
And then that'd be very short, because if you had.
No, we just go all the way to the end of May.
Well, no, but I'm sorry, I'm saying that, because we don't do anything over Christmas, so we do November 1st, or you've got whatever dates of Sunday are in November.
We can do
But
2
you've
weeks.
got Thanksgiving weekend in there, so that would be that day, and so you might have maybe 1 or 2 dates in December.
We probably could get
So you-
five
maybe
dates
about
out this year.
5.
Yeah.
Okay, and then start it up again
And take it all
after, say, February, maybe, and go through the first week of May.
Well, we can pick up a couple in January. After the kids go back to college, pick a couple in January.
I look at the dates.
Yeah, well, I'll let you do
And
it. If any of the,
let Donna know.
yeah, we can kind of look at it now. So we can go all the way now. When I talk that was good, so give me all the dates.
All right, well, we'll get an agreement on the October,
And the money hasn't changed,
Right.
same fee.
okay, good. We'll get an agreement on the October meeting.
He also said that if I wanted to bring a group of kids to any of his events, like that the college is doing, basketball, volleyball, let him know, and he would have tickets for us.
Oh, nice.
If I want to, have a group to see how they play volleyball, any sports, any college sports, so that's another activity.
Good, good, thank you, Maurice, for doing that. Okay, going green, we're still just, putting articles, we've got pretty good articles of green facilities in the paper and that. Is anything else on that?
No,
Okay,
I
good.
don't think any. I
All
have
right. Well, let's go into then the trustee audits of accounts. We have the audit of accounts from, there's a revised one on the table. The one in your packet had a slight flaw in it, so this is a revised one. And so it's only the top sheet that you sign, and it was for the month of August 18th through September 21st for $87,261.04. I'm gonna start it down this way.
That's a small amount compared to the rest of it.
It's been pretty steady, sometimes it's a little less.
They don't include your check in here, Jane.
That's right, you don't get one
That big check, Jane.
But you guys, please deposit your paycheck.
Jane,
So you gotta worry about it, it's going tonight.
there. Yeah, but,
Please deposit your check.
That's why you remember.
Please.
I gotta buy that popcorn.
Deposit your
James,
paycheck.
please.
Last from
Take
June,
theirs and pass the rest of it.
from June,
I
from June.
wish I could.
Talking to me.
She says she did.
Yeah, we're still missing a check from June, Marie.
I hope it's not last year.
No, it's this year.
It's this year.
This year.
No, you would have heard more from me if it had been last year, so you're only 3 months
Can
behind.
I hire you? Are you available to be my
Hey, I
private
will take it to
secretary?
the bank. Yeah, your deposit.
All right, we have the trustee audit of accounts. Is there a motion to approve the trustee audit of accounts?
So moved.
By Maurice, is there a second?
Second.
Second by Terry. Any further? Roll call vote, please.
Trustee Bowles,
Yes.
trustee Brown,
Yes.
trustee Burgess,
Yes.
trustee Young,
Yes.
supervisor Devon.
Yes. Are there any board comments?
I keep my brother in prayer. Keep me in prayer. I'm going to Houston. That doggone cancer. It's not looking good for him. He has stage 4. So just keep him in prayer. Keep me in
We'll
prayer.
do that.
Okay. So
You
I'm not giving him much time.
It's at the whole table, huh?
Yeah. So I appreciate it. Thank you.
Thank you. All right, anybody else? Seeing none, is there a motion to adjourn?
So moved.
Moved by Maurice,
Second.
Second by Deb, or James. Roll call vote, please.
Trustee Bowles,
Yes.
trustee Brown,
Yes.
trustee Burgess, trustee Young,
Yes.
supervisor Devlin.
Yes. Take candy home with you, because these tables have no candy.
I'm still selling popcorn and cookie dough.
Oh, yeah.
Cookie dough.
Well,